Okay, welcome back to Sports Weekly MN. I'm Duff, and with me is my brother and co-host Joe. Joe, how you guys doing in the
Oh,
snow?
doing good here, Duff. We're on Christmas break, so let's go. And it coincided with a blizzard, and
Nice.
so here we go. Minnesota got snow in October. We got a little bit early November, and then we haven't got any since. Literally, we went
Huh?
like 6 or 7 weeks with no snow. It was bizarre, and that changed today. It looks like it might change again on Wednesday. So, fingers crossed. We could use some good snow. This isn't really a good snow because it's all blowing away. It's all blowing away. I'll tell you that. She's a windy one tonight. How about you guys? You get anything?
No, it's brown here. We're supposed to have some snow, maybe like Christmas morning, something like that.
That
That'd be
would be good.
nice.
Yeah, white
Uh,
Christmas is needed.
mhm.
Yeah.
We've been above freezing. It's been pretty nice actually. A
Okay.
little windy.
Yeah. We started when I woke up this morning it was 37 degrees.
Okay.
I think it's 7 right now.
Mm-hmm. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's supposed to get like 3 or 4 below tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then a high of 3 maybe tomorrow.
We
And
were
then,
we were at three today, but 3 Celsius. So that's
oh, okay.
30, 37, 38.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rude awakening tomorrow, so we
Um,
won't spend a whole lot of time outdoors.
yeah, I bet. Neat. Okay. Well, so this week, mostly I think we're going to chat Vikings, a little bit of basketball news. The Timberwolves are going to start here in like 1 minute. And because we're recording this at about 7 p.m. Central
Mm-hmm.
on here on the 23rd. So the game's supposed to start like right about now. And a little bit of hockey news. And no real Twins news. I mean, I can just briefly cover that the Twins made about 8 to 10 like minor league. They signed 8 to 10 guys to minor league contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys are former major leaguers, and so they're like legitimate players who just maybe have just fallen off the radar. They're maybe more like quadruple A type players, a lot of relievers, and I think the coaching staff, Wes Johnson, is hoping that of these like 5 relievers that they picked off the scrap heap pile, that one of them turns out to be a stud. And they've shown they can do that, so I guess they're gonna do that again rather than say spend a bunch of money on picking up someone like Brad Hand or something like that. So now I mentioned his name, former reliever for the Cleveland, formerly known as Indians.
Yeah,
Are
we'll
they
go.
still known as the Indians?
I
I
think
don't
they are.
remember.
I think they're
Um,
still the Cleveland Indians. Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So, but he's from the Twin Cities, right? He's from Chaska, so I think
Yes.
he has a little personal desire to pitch for the Twins, and he's a great pitcher. So, we'll see. But really, no Twins news this week, other than they picked up these like 8 to 10 guys. And Fernando Romero, finally, we know what happened to him. He got caught. Well, all we've heard for the last year is he had visa issues in February trying to go to spring training. Well, he had some marijuana in his suitcase coming from the Dominican Republic. And so they found it at the border. Like when he landed in the Miami airport, and they do the customs and immigration, they're like, no, you got to go back. You can't bring drugs into the country, which apparently is hilarious because like pot is pretty easy to get
Yeah.
in
You
like
probably
Florida.
could,
So,
probably
so
could
like,
go into the airport and find it somewhere.
yeah, exactly. So not a smart move on his part. Anyway, so he's like not going to be allowed into the United States for a long time. Um, really just kind of a boneheaded move. And, but he, as a player, he pitched those 5 great games back in
Yeah.
2018.
It
I
didn't
mean,
seem to
just,
matter though, Duff. Didn't he get a good contract?
uh, well, yeah. So he ended up. So yeah. The end of the story is since he can't get into America, he's going to pitch in Japan, and the Twins got a couple $100,000 of like compensation from his new Japanese ball club.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's an interesting story. It's basically what a lot of us thought anyway back in April. Like The only real reason you have visa issues is something like this. Or a criminal complaint. That was sort of like the other thing. But normally we hear about criminal complaints like the one that Miguel Sano had to go through. Right, there was like some weird kidnapping thing.
Yeah, we didn't really get good clarity, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway,
it was made up.
Probably a scam, right? So, well, in any case, so that's the Fernando Romero story. The other Twin story was they signed all these minor league guys, kind of scrap heaps, but names that you've maybe heard if you are a close, Twins fan. If you're a casual Twins fan, you probably haven't heard any of these names. So, and that's sort of our audience. So there's no sense in going into all of the detail on those guys. But look, Trevor Bauer is still out there. Simeon is still out there. Simmons is still out there. There's some good names out there, and I really hope the Twins are making a push.
Cruz is still out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
He seems to be a formality at this point, doesn't it?
I think so. I think he's going to come back. The question is at what number. But man, I want them to take that money. The Twins, yes, Nelson Cruz has been great, and he's a great player, and apparently just a wonderful person. I would much rather have Trevor Bauer in this club. I feel like he would give the club that much more of an ability to win a playoff game. Remember, so my goal since 2010 for the Twins, my hope, my dream is to see them win one playoff game, not a series. I'm not asking for much. But ever since 2010, when I first did the statistics on how badly the Yankees have beaten them forever and ever, my stated goal has been I want to see the Twins win one playoff game. And for 10 years, I've been disappointed. So I hope this year is the year. And I think if they go get Trevor Bauer, he gives them the best opportunity to win a playoff game. Okay, so we said we weren't going to talk about the Twins, and here I've been talking about the Twins for 10 minutes. So let's talk Vikings.
Yeah. So
what a disaster.
Vikings played Bears on Sunday. Didn't really go the Vikings' way. Laid an egg in that game. And that's okay. Because we just want to make it harder. The Vikings they just want to make it harder on themselves.
Yeah.
Honestly, this club has lost direction.
Yeah.
You can convince yourself they're decent by looking at stats, and then you realize they're terrible.
They're terrible.
And so I know clearly the lines are the biggest need in this upcoming draft. They need offensive linemen. They need another edge rusher because hopefully Daniil will be back. Mm-hmm. If he's not back, he'll be traded and we'll get a bounty for him. That's clearly the biggest need. And there's no pass rush. If you get a sack, it's because luck.
Somebody
or
tripped.
You blitzed him like crazy, or he ran into an offensive guy, or I don't know, sat down and had a martini. I'm not sure. I mean, literally, it's terrible. I don't know what else to tell you. The Vikings they don't have a good game plan coming in. They think they need to run Dalvin into the line 50 times, and then they start throwing and they start scoring. It's like, guys, not that you go away from Dalvin, but throw to open up the run, maybe. I mean, I don't understand. You have Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. One of those two is open on every play.
Pretty much.
Drop back and get your wide receivers involved in this game. And Irv Smith is so underutilized. The guy has talent. Throw the ball to him. But then completely. You see the difference between Kevin Stefanski's offense and Gary Kubiak. Kevin Stefanski liked to put Kirk Cousins in positions to succeed. He would roll them out, only give him half the field to work with, right?
Right.
And take away a lot of the options from Kirk Cousins and say, here you go. Here's your two options. You can always dump it down to your wide receiver, just throw it out of bounds. So literally you have 4 options. Mm-hmm. And by rolling them out, it takes the offensive line out of play a little bit. Now you can't roll them out every play.
Of course. Yep.
But you can roll them out once in a while. Literally, Gary Kubiak never does the rollout. And Kirk Cousins can handle the rollout. He can throw on the move.
Yeah, he did fine last year.
Yeah.
Many times. I think this year the few times that we've seen him, roll it out to the right or something, it's like the whole play is broken.
Yeah.
I've never really seen a designed rollout
No.
this year.
Well, you just neutralize your
The weakness.
basically the worst thing that's going to happen is
Yep.
you're going to throw the ball out of bounds.
That's right. Yep.
I can live with that. That's going to happen from time to time. When you don't do a rollout, now you open up the strip sack. And I honestly, Kirk Cousins, stop panicking in the pocket. You look crazy, man. Stop panicking in the pocket. You drop back. You literally run to where the defenders are instead of simply just rolling to the right where there is no defender. You run into them and then you panic. Like, calm down. How many NFL games do you have to play before you're actually calm? I don't get it. I mean, I don't know what you're looking at. Can you not tell the guys? Maybe you can't tell. I've never played quarterback. It's easy for me to say, but maybe you can't tell the guy is literally 2 feet from you. And if you step up 1 foot, he can't get you and roll to the right where he's not at. You've just bought yourself 2 seconds.
Right.
It's going to take him 2 seconds of time to stop his momentum, turn around, come back and the 8 feet and get you. In that 2 seconds, what do you think you can do?
You could throw the ball.
Throw the ball or run, I mean,
Yep.
At least you give yourself a chance. So it's bizarre. I mean, it's just bizarre sometimes. But then I mostly attribute that to play calling too. Take that away from him. If he can't figure that out, then don't put him in that situation.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing. Everybody knows that one of the huge weaknesses on this Vikings team is their offensive line. So why is it play after play? Oh, let's get a pocket for Kirk Cousins. It's like, that doesn't happen. You don't have the players to really establish this pocket. Like you need to be adapting to the players who are on this team. And like, there are some extreme weaknesses. So let's actually call plays to minimize those weaknesses and emphasize the things that this team has in abundance, like incredible wide receivers.
And just bizarre play call stuff. 4th and 1 on your own 35.
I love it when teams go for it on 4th down, but not when you've been so ineffective the whole game.
I have no problem with it. I have a problem with the play call. What do? They run right into the offensive line, the defensive line.
Yeah.
What is the Bears' strength? Interior defensive line.
And it's not like that's new this year. That's been their strength for a very long time.
So I'm going to run Dalvin Cook, not Leroy Horde, not CJ Ham, but I'm going to run Dalvin Cook right into them. I mean, you didn't even give yourself a chance. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
They're selling out to do the run. Maybe you fake that and you do a little rollout to CJ Ham or to Dalvin Cook or to, you bring Jefferson across the middle or something.
Or just have Kirk run with it. You'll get the yard. You'll just fake it and then have Kirk run with it. You'll get the yard.
Or do the Tom Brady special.
Yeah.
Just sneak the ball and
let me
that's not what I was talking about. I was just talking about the quarterback sneak, but that just brings up a different point. Anyway, going back to the Bears Vikings game, the Vikings can compete with anybody and they can just play down to anybody.
Yep.
I don't see anybody thinking that the Bears have a better team than the Vikings. But maybe they do have a better team. They just don't have his top end of talent, maybe. But it is clear the team is missing Michael Pierce and Danielle Hunter. They are unable to get pressure with 4 men.
Yep.
They literally never get pressure on the quarterback by rushing 4.
Just to back up a second. Now, so we switched from talking offense now to talking defense.
It never happens, right? So Danielle Hunter and Michael Pierce are out this year. Michael Pierce is sitting out because of COVID, and Danielle Hunter was out because he got a neck injury. Without those 2 guys, the defensive line literally never gets pressure on the quarterback. You just sit
Mhm.
there and wonder, like, don't even rush. Just stay up near the line and take away the quarterback run.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
it's pretty bad. But I mean, okay, a lot of it is due to injuries. Like
Oh yeah.
so here's the thing. I think criticizing the offensive play calling, totally legitimate. I think criticizing Kirk Cousins, also totally legitimate. Although he's not terrible. He's just like average. The trouble is his contract is for like a superstar caliber. So his contract is appropriate for a superstar caliber quarterback, and he's simply like an average to good quarterback. Um, but look, the real weakness is on the offensive line, and so that goes back to uh, Spielman, I think, and Zimmer not emphasizing this in drafts enough.
Right. And when
And
they did, Cleveland is a good player.
yeah, he's fine.
He's a good player.
Yeah. But look, I think the criticism of the defense. Look, they have a huge number of injuries or people sitting out for COVID on the defense, right? Like 5 of their top 8 guys are out, and it is so I don't know. I yes, their defense is a weakness, but I don't blame them for that. I mean they've been really hit hard by injuries. So
Well, clearly Zim is doing a Zen talk with the cornerbacks again,
yeah,
because the answer is a shutdown quarterback.
he's great.
He's literally like ranked 15th already. He's
That's amazing.
third for rookies. He's got the looks of a number 1 shutdown cornerback.
Mhm.
And on the other side, I'm blanking on his name. I don't know why. He looks fine too. And Dantzler, I think, was our 2nd or 3rd round pick, wasn't he? And
Yeah,
Jeff Gladney was our 1st round pick.
that's
and
right.
he looks like he's going to be a good player too. So I'm quite happy with our cornerback play lately. But we'll see. You know, I won't be able to watch the next game here on Friday against the Saints, but my guess is we'll come in, we'll probably play just fine.
Right, it's a good team, so they'll I don't know.
And let's be honest, ever since Bounty Gate, we have the Saints number. So
Yeah. And then the other thing, of course, special teams. Lots of criticism there. Just embarrassing. Game after game.
I don't know what
after
you're talking
game.
about. We didn't miss any kicks this week.
Okay, we got to show this.
Okay, so Tom Brady, and it was funny because I was actually watching this live. I did not watch a lot of this game, but I actually saw this live, and it's a 4th down.
And so this
And
title
basically, if they get a first
understates
down
it.
here, the game is over.
That's right. So this says footage shows ref casually giving Bucks an extra yard to secure first down for them. But what it doesn't say is, and therefore they won the game. But so we'll watch it here, and then we'll go back. So here it goes. So there's the ref picking up the ball, giving them an extra yard. Okay, there. That's where it was spotted. Just move it forward 1 more yard, and surprise! Hey, you get a first down. Like, boy.
I don't think the ball's been spotted there yet. I think this clip is a little misleading, but the fact is, on this play, he was short of a first down. It was clear in every way possible. It was reviewed, and it was called a first down.
Yeah.
Literally, the announcers could not figure out what was going on. They're like, okay, well, yes, the yellow is unofficial, but okay.
So okay.
His knee is down.
Yep.
The ball is
Ball's
like where, but the ball isn't there. The ball was actually a little bit farther along.
Yeah.
But okay, so watch where his ball goes.
Knee.
Okay, knee is down.
Ball right there.
Yep. So it's about where his
elbow
maybe
is.
where, yep. Unreal. I mean, look at where the yellow line is.
Yeah.
And
Not close to it.
a half a yard short.
Yeah.
And the ball and the play was reviewed because it's inside 2 minutes. Like, the play was actually reviewed, and they said it stood. How did it magically get up there? Now, I could see the mistakes happen sometimes with the marking of the ball, but the fact that it was reviewed and allowed to stand is embarrassing, NFL. Stop it. You gave the Bucks 10 points against the Vikings. You just flat out gave them 10 points.
Yeah.
And you just flat out sealed the game. Now, okay, maybe you could say the Vikes blew that game too. And, obviously the Falcons choked. That's what they do. But still, come on. We don't need to see Brady in the playoffs again. Why?
Joe,
How would that help money? But I don't even understand.
make money.
I honestly think more people don't want to see him in the playoffs. Brady is not universally loved.
I know, but he draws in more casual fans. It's that name recognition thing.
See, I think it's all BS.
I don't think so. I think
he
the
draws in more
NFL
fans. I don't think any of that.
Here's what I think. I think
You're
the
either going to
NFL
watch
is
the
a
playoffs or
huge.
you're not.
I think NFL is a huge business, and they employ smart data people to figure this stuff out. Like who?
Well, they need to employ some smarter data people to figure out that don't make it so obvious.
Yeah, but there are fewer passionate, engaged fans than there are casual fans. So even if you I can't think of the right word right now, but even if you alienate some of the passionate fans, you're going to draw in way more casual fans by having that household name recognition be in the playoffs. So I don't know. From a business standpoint, and the NFL is very much a for-profit business, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's really frustrating to like people who pay attention and anybody interested in like fairness, sort of that sort of a spin on life. This just grinds against that belief in in having a fair shot. So
well, you don't even hide, like you don't even pretend.
Yeah.
You're not even pretending to hide this.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, NFL, and stop it.
I've got one more clip. I shared this on Twitter too. Somebody
Yeah,
uploaded.
so this is Hicks, their stud interior lineman that actually punches our guy.
Yeah. So let's we can roll
but
it
it's
here.
Hicks.
Yeah.
So it's a complete cheap shot.
So we're looking here. So this is 75 on the Vikings, and this is Hicks on the Bears.
Is that Dozier, who that is?
Yeah.
Cleveland, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So watch him. The kind of the play will be over here. He's on the ground, and
I
here
don't
he
see
comes.
anything dirty here by the Vikings player.
No, here it comes. Bam! Just a smash. Okay, so now it's playing again.
Yeah, like he
And
uppercutted
bam!
him underneath his face mask.
Yeah. So, cheap shot by the Bears. Of course, the recipient of the cheap shot was wearing purple, so no flag, and that's that.
Yeah, but did Hicks get fined? Do you know? I haven't heard.
No, not from what I saw.
Embarrassing, NFL.
Yeah. So, but look, the Vikings aren't doing themselves any favors. Like, the Vikings deserve to lose. But I think both of us would agree we want games to be fair, and we want penalties to be penalties, and yeah, that's that. I don't see what's so hard about that.
I could see them missing that, but then the NFL needs to fine them.
That's right. At least after the game, like review the footage, say that was a cheap shot. Here you go.
Right.
Yep.
I saw a play or two where Cousins just gets hit right in the helmet again last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
And
I don't have the clip,
call.
but yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
it's
even the
just-
announcers are like, that was helmet to helmet. There's no flag. Yeah.
Doesn't apply to our quarterback.
No, well, because jersey color is purple. So, any other complaints? I guess, okay, so if you're delusional, you might be interested to note the Vikings still have a somewhere between 2 to 4% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's probably about 75%. It'll probably happen. I mean, when it comes to the purple, they're not out of this Saints game. There's absolutely no way they get blown out by the Saints. It's not going to happen. Drew Brees isn't what Drew Brees used to be. And quite frankly, the Vikings play to their opponent. They always have under Zimmer. They're never out of any game. They can go in. I wouldn't even count them out against the Chiefs this year. They can just go in there and they'd be like, nope, we'll be fine. And then they'll lose to Detroit. I mean, it's nonsense. I hate it. So it wouldn't surprise me if we beat the Saints. It wouldn't surprise me if Arizona loses and the Bears lose, because that's just the way the Vikings want to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to make it easy by winning games. They just want to make it fun.
Back in, things.
Whatever.
Look, I think the bottom line is Zimmer's got to go.
I'd be okay with it.
I think it's time. It's been a pretty great run.
We're not going to get better.
That's right.
Him.
That's right.
He's not a bad coach. I think he's a good coach. He's just not the coach that's going to take us over the hump.
That's right.
So I think that we lost that coach in Kevin Stefanski. He looks pretty good with the Browns.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. I mean, talk about walking into a culture of losing.
Well, I just, and I think Spielman needs to go now. Spielman has good drafts. So maybe keep him in the room, but make him the number 2 or the number 3 and say, no, we are going to draft an offensive lineman unless somebody falls. Okay, so that's who we're going to draft. Now you figure out who that is and we'll draft him.
Yep.
Because you'll be good at it. But this is what we're taking. Or we're going to take the edge rusher. Okay, we'll take the best edge rusher unless somebody falls. You know what I mean? Like Justin Jefferson fell into the Vikings' lap. Right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My thinking is that, I mean, I agree with you that Zimmer's a great coach, especially a defensive coach. There's no denying that he can do miracles with. I think he could turn me into a decent cornerback. Seriously, he's just that good. And I agree that Spielman has picked good players. Here's the trouble, though. The trouble is I feel like both of these guys are pretty old school, much like Paul Molitor and the Twins was. Not a bad player, not a bad coach, but not in sync with where the modern sport is. And by all reports, players for the Twins now are just loving it because it's so analytics driven. It's so rather than just encourage the player to be better, it's here, using this data, you can actually make this tweak, and then we can measure whether or not you've affected something on your pitch or on your swing, and then you will improve. And I feel like Zimmer and Spielman are much more like the Paul Molitor, the old school of oh yeah, we just need to encourage them or beat them down or whatever their coaching philosophy is, rather than really use the data. And the other aspect of that is it's wonderful to have all-star caliber players, no denying it. But if you want to have a good winning ball club, you need to remove the weak links and fill them in with even just average players. And when you do that, then your superstars can really stand out because they're not being dragged down by those real, poor or lower quality players. So the draft, rather than always emphasizing, let's go for the highest flyer and the next Tom Brady, it's yeah, that'd be great, but let's fix the super leaky offensive line so that even an average quarterback can succeed. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the change of philosophy that the Vikings need. And I think that's what would allow them to take the next step in exactly the same way that the Twins got away from, the Terry Ryan and Paul Molitor, Ron Gardenhire era and moved into the Thad Levine, Derek Falvey, Rocco Baldelli era. And we've seen a lot more success from the Twins, I think.
I got nothing else to add to that.
That's my rant. So, yeah, anyway, bye-bye, Zimmer. We loved you. It's been fun, but I think it's time to move on.
And leave your cornerback book here.
Yeah. Can we put you on retainer as a cornerback coach? We'll pay you the head coach salary to simply be the coach for the cornerbacks.
I'd be fine with that.
So you noticed my hat today?
Yep.
Wild.
Here we go.
So the schedule just came out a couple hours ago. And I think it's 56 games. And so look here, they're calling it the 2020-2021 season. There's no games going to be played in 2020. It's starting. Okay, the league starts on January 13th. The Wild don't play until their first game until the 14th,
Yeah.
and uh,
And it's really sad because the Wild actually had the Winter Classic this year. And of course, they're not guaranteed the Winter Classic next year because it's already been given out.
that's right.
And so now they're going to have to wait a couple years. I would assume they would get the next Winter Classic that has not been announced yet.
Mhm.
But it's kind
So
of sad.
we should remind people: Winter Classic is the January 1st New Year's
Outdoor
Day
game.
outdoor hockey game
It's
that the NHL has done for, I don't know, 10,
It's a
15
huge
years.
deal.
It's pretty awesome. No,
And
I
it's
bet
pretty
it's
sad
20
that
years.
it's
I bet
pretty
it's been
sad that
20
the
years.
state of hockey hasn't had it yet.
Yeah,
Now we
yeah.
did get a stadium game. The Wild had a stadium game, but they didn't have the Winter Classic, and they had it this year. But anyway, you look at the schedule. What do you see? I see at Kings. So you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see some chippy second games here.
Mhm.
Then you go Anaheim,
Mhm.
and then you go to San Jose at home,
Yep.
Kings at home, Colorado. So you're looking at 2-game series every time. I don't see one that's not a 2-gamer.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe here's St. Louis, but anyway. Oh no, that's
No.
okay. No, it's
flipped
April.
over. Yep.
So you're gonna see some different chippiness this year from them.
Yep.
Also, people on Twitter have been saying, well, there's no fans in the stands, so they don't need to start the game at 7:00 California time. And my comeback is that has nothing to do with it.
No.
It's all about TV.
That's right.
So maybe they'll move it up an hour, possibly, but which would be nice because otherwise I'm looking at a lot of Wild games starting at 9:00.
Mhm.
Well, I'll watch the first period and then that'll be it.
Well,
Which
then
is a
that brings
bummer.
up the next question: are you going to be able to watch?
I'm assuming by April, but I don't know. It's ridiculous. The Wolves start tonight. I don't even get to watch the game because YouTube TV and FSN haven't come. Well, the company that owns FSNet,
Sinclair Media or
Sinclair
something
Media,
like this.
haven't come to an agreement, and it's so pathetically sad. You can't even put fans in the stands, so I can't even go to the game. Not that I would go tonight, but you
Mhm.
can't even go to the game,
And you can't
and
watch it
now
on
I
TV.
can't watch it unless I get a contract. Well, I'm not getting a contract. I'm not signing up for a contract. So that's what I like about YouTube TV. I don't have to sign a contract. I can just drop it.
I think you could get the Fox Sports app for like $50 a month, and then you can watch on your phone. But that's like pretty expensive.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah. And that might be for out of market anyway. So
yeah.
Well, let me I won't say it on YouTube. There are other ways to stream the game. Which is what I have to do because I literally cannot purchase it. I'm out of the country and it's unpurchasable. So
yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. But like the Twins actually. So Major League Baseball does a great job, MLB.TV. In fact, it's only for out of market fans, and it doesn't matter where in the world you are. There's no restrictions. And if you sign up on Father's Day, usually it's like
that's not true,
50
though.
or 75% off. So
there are restrictions on MLB TV, aren't there? So like in Iowa, I've heard
as long
that
as you're out of market, you're okay.
Yeah, but in Iowa, you're like in market for 6 teams. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Iowa is like a horrible place to live and watch sports, apparently.
Yeah. Because they have no professional teams themselves, and yet they're like, yeah, it's bad news. So
yeah, it's antiquated,
Mhm.
and it needs to go away. It stems from the 80s, when all kinds of little regional TV networks were popping up and they were all fighting the big companies, and
that's right.
And that's not really the case anymore. You got a handful, you got about 8 of them. So
Right. And that's like 30, 40 years ago. And
So let's update.
surprise, things have changed. And now everybody wants to watch on their iPad or phone or whatever.
And nobody
like,
wants a
stream it.
contract. Stop
No.
with the contracts.
No, this is ridiculous. And yeah,
It's the reason I got YouTube TV, because it was live sports. I tried to give it up. I couldn't do it.
I hear you. Anyway, the Wolves game started tonight against the
Yeah, we have
Pistons,
an update.
right?
Usually the first one doesn't start on time, so let's check a look on the update. Of course, they're not doing a big shindig for the fans, so
Yeah, exactly.
get a score here. Pistons are winning 19-11, and Pistons might legitimately be the worst team in the league. But they have a good head coach. You know who their head coach is?
Tell me.
Dwayne Casey.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. No, Pistons are up 21-14.
Oh, now I got it. 24.
Make that
24-17.
22-14.
24-17 is what I got.
All right.
Anyway, looks like Towns has 9 points, but anyway.
Oh, Timberwolves are 2 for 8 for 3-pointers so far.
Sounds normal.
Make that 3 for 9. Nope, 2 for 8. Sorry.
Edwards came in, had 5 quick points. That's good.
Yeah. Look, I think, there's a lot of new players on the Timberwolves this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if it takes them a while to sort of figure things out. They had how many preseason games? 3?
3.
So,
and Russell didn't even play in the one.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of breaking news tonight is they had to cancel the Thunder and Rockets game.
Okay.
Because the Rockets could not field the team. They only had 7 players, and you need 8 to actually play a game.
Okay.
So
for COVID,
the game was canceled.
Exposure.
COVID protocols, exposure, or in Harden's case, broke rules.
Jeez.
So he's quarantining without necessarily being exposed, but I think he went to a club or something. It's kind of a gray area. They don't really know yet. So it hasn't all come out yet, but Harden is pretty much acting like a baby, and I would stay away from him.
Yeah.
I don't even like his game, so I'm not a big fan. Obviously the guy can flat out shoot. He can flat out handle a ball, and he travels every time. Apparently the league says that's not traveling. That I grew up, that was traveling, but okay. So that's okay. Things can change.
Yep. Other sports news. I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter that like the Gophers women's basketball team was either practicing or playing games. Do you know anything?
Yeah,
about
they're
this?
0-3.
Okay.
In the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But the men's team is doing very well. They had a nice win over St. Louis, and then they play Christmas night.
Okay.
Is their next game. The thing is, their one loss is to a good Illinois team. Now on Christmas night, they play Iowa, which is ranked 3rd, and then they play Michigan State, I think 2 or 3 days later, who's ranked 4th.
Oh,
so it's kind of a murderer's row here with Illinois, St. Louis, a good team who the Gophers actually beat, but still a good team, a good mid-conference team. They seem to make the tournament every year, and then Iowa and Michigan State. Now Iowa probably will drop by Christmas Day to like 5 maybe, because they lost to Gonzaga, but Gonzaga is ranked number 1. So you don't go down a whole lot when you lose to the number 1 team.
Right.
And Jalen Suggs, Minnesota kid, plays for Gonzaga, and in that game he had 27 points. Now, that name might sound familiar to our Hutchinson listeners because Jalen Suggs basically single-handedly beat Hutch football in the championship a couple years ago. So pretty much put his team on his back and won that game against Hutch. So it was a crazy game to watch. So
crazy.
Yep. Anyway.
Look, I think that's all I had. Oh no, I have a trivia for you.
Okay, go.
Okay, so this is baseball. Can you name all of the Major League Baseball Triple Crown winners in this century?
Oh, are you talking just on offense?
Can you name all of the Major League Baseball Triple Crown winners in this century? So in the 2000s, nobody from the 90s.
Well, Cabrera.
Yep.
Do
you know what year?
I don't know if it was like 14 or 13, something like that.
Close. Yeah. 2012. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I thought there was someone else too now.
So there's one Twins player. I'm talking all the Triple Crowns. So the Twins player is.
Well, are you talking pitching too? Because it'd be
Mhm.
Santana.
Yep. And what year was that?
6 maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else for pitching? You think?
Probably DeGrom.
No.
Maybe Bauer.
No.
Let's see. There had to have been other people. Somebody just did it, didn't they?
Yeah, somebody won this year. There's a little asterisk.
Well, Bieber.
Yeah, Bieber won this year.
Yeah. Bieber would have won. DeGrom never won it?
No.
Probably didn't get enough wins. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
He won the other two. Kershaw, did he get enough wins? Maybe. I don't know. He seems to get hurt every once in a while. I don't know. Anyone else on offense? Who else am I missing? I thought there was one more player on offense.
Only Miguel Cabrera in 2012.
Okay.
Like it's really hard. The list, if you could look it up, the list of Triple Crown winners for batting is very short. For pitching, there's more.
And it went like 40 or 50 years too, didn't it?
Yeah. It was like I can't remember the previous.
And then
one.
they didn't celebrate the feat like they should have.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
And let's look it up here. Yeah, so 1967, Carl Yastrzemski won it.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2012, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just like, holy moly,
wow.
that's a
That's
big
45 years. That's impressive.
So here we go. 2002, Randy Johnson.
Okay.
2006, Johan.
Mm-hmm.
2007, Jake Peavy for the Padres.
Okay, I forgot about PV.
I mean, he's a quality name. Like I think even casual fans would probably recognize that name, and that's why, because he had a really, really good year. And then 2011, Clayton Kershaw and Justin Verlander both won.
Oh wow! Why would I forget Verlander?
Yeah,
that seems ridiculous.
And then this year with Bieber. But
yeah.
Little asterisk there because it's only 60 games. So
no asterisk, but yes, in the mind for sure. Though Biebs look pretty unstoppable, except I think he had like one poorer outing. I mean, maybe 3 runs.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. So he's the only one with fewer than 10 wins. He had 8 wins, and everybody else is like 40 wins, 30 something,
right,
20. Now Johan won with 19 wins. And Jake Peavy also won with 19 wins, but they're the only guys below 20. And then here is Shane Bieber with 8 wins.
Yeah. Well, I understand.
1.63 ERA in 122 strikeouts.
Wow.
Really great for 60 game season. So,
wow. That is impressive.
The Miguel Cabrera really stands out. Just what a gap. Could you imagine if we had to wait until like 2060 for another one?
It could happen.
Like, that's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wow. Anyway, okay, yeah, good. I thought that was just a fun statistic. I was reading about Shane Bieber, and that's why I got thinking.
Perfect.
About that. So.
Yeah, I knew Cabrera won the offensive, and I would never have gotten BV.
No,
you could have asked me an hour, and I would never came up with Jake Peavy.
Just name names, and you would have never. Yeah.
No, I would never have gotten it. Never. Yeah, I probably would have gotten the other ones, but not Peavy.
Yeah, exactly. Because Verlander, Kershaw, like Randy Johnson,
I probably would have forgotten Johnson pitched in the 2000s. So I don't know if I would have gotten Johnson either, but I probably eventually.
Yeah. I mean, you could just start naming all the great pitchers from like the 90s and 2000s, like Clemens and whatever, right? So, anyway, okay, all right, that's all I have, Joe.
Yeah, well,
Merry Christmas.
Wishing everyone out there a Merry Christmas and just have fun with your family this year. Take a break and just relax and enjoy. So I wish you a Merry Christmas too, Duff, and to your family. So
yep, you too.
It'll be good. All right, everyone. Remember to grow your own food, be kind to one another in John 3:16.